Welcome to your first lesson in Patient Better and learning how to create your own unique caregiving team.
There are 3 steps to this process. Number 1, qualify informal caregivers. Number 2, align all caregivers to meet healthcare standards. And number 3, share your Patient Better program with all those who participate in your care.
And then on our next video, we're going to organize our care team on the contributor cover page. But first, let's define exactly who is on our caregiving team, such as a clearinghouse, a primary caregiver, or a secondary caregiver.
The clearinghouse is your team's leader and the primary overseer of the Patient Better program. This individual collects, transfers, organizes, and submits both standard and non-standard information. The clearinghouse could be either the patient or the person that has guardianship, or both. Primary caregivers are informal caregivers who can transfer the self-health manager and submit non-standard information and collect standard information as well. This role is held by family, friends, or neighbors. The last group are secondary caregivers, who are caregivers that can transfer the self-health manager and submit non-standard and standard information. This role is typically held by representatives of companies that deliver care in your home. These are the 3 roles that everyone will play as defined by Patient Better. The qualifying participants for the Patient Better program are people who help with the daily activities of care that are not compensated and have no formal training for their assistance. This may include yourself, parents, guardians, or anyone that's considered as an informal caregiver. An informal caregiver is referred to as a person who is unpaid, who has no formal training, but aids and supervises in the daily care of another in need.
For the second step, you will want to align all your caregivers to meet healthcare standards. And this is where the contributor cover page will come into play. On the back, there is a HIPAA consent form. All caregivers who sign this paper recognize there is a health standard to meet. Simply put, health standards are put into place to protect the patient's privacy.
In recent years, our new digital healthcare world has allowed us to capture a lot of health information that we've never been able to before. A matter of fact, there was so much information, we needed to organize it and protect it. And that's when Bill Clinton signed into law the Health Insurance Portability and Accountability Act of 1996, which was created primarily to modernize the flow of healthcare information and to stipulate how personally identifiable information was maintained by the healthcare and healthcare insurance industries and how this information should be safeguarded to protect people from fraud and theft. There are 5 titles to this act, but as for today, we will focus on Title II. Title II requires the Department of Health and Human Services to increase the efficiency of the healthcare system by creating new standards for the use and dissemination of healthcare information,
and categorize each individual into their own respective group. The first group is primary caregivers, who are the qualified informal caregivers that go unpaid but still have more responsibility on your care team, such as neighbors, drivers, family, and friends. And the second group of caregivers are the secondary caregivers. These are caregivers associated with the company, such as home health providers and non-medical home care representatives.
Patient Better has defined roles for at-home caregivers for you to communicate with your team. This will enhance the ability for caregivers who have limited contribution capabilities, as well as create a hierarchy of responsibility so that everybody will be on the same page for as far as who does what. The next step is to put caregivers into the Patient Better system. This is everyone that partakes in the delivering of at-home care, including yourself. Then, the qualified caregiver becomes a contributor and documented in the contributor cover page.
And that concludes our video for today. And join us next time to where we can put all of the caregivers on the contributor cover page.